Today I'm going to review a fragrance that I consider to be somewhat of a Mona Lisa among men's fragrances. This is a really artistic designer fragrance that is really cheap and a masterpiece in its own way. It's called Encre Noir A L'Extreme by Lalique, and you get a full review of it next here on Nordic Fragrance. Hi, I'm Tommy and you are watching Nordic Fragrance. Welcome. So today I'm going to review a really beautiful fragrance that is called Encre Noir A L'Extreme by Lalique. This is certainly not your ordinary run-of-the-mill designer fragrance, I can tell you that for sure. This is a very special fragrance with a very special and distinct scent to it. I will tell you all about this beautiful cologne in just a minute, but first let's take a closer look at the presentation of the bottle. So here we have the bottle of Encre Noir A L'Extreme by Lalique. It's a very heavy glass bottle with a wooden cap on it, and on the top it's engraved Lalique, if you can see that. Very beautiful, and the juice inside is like amber gold, beautiful as well. I think the presentation of this is really nice. Let's take a look at the sprayer. The cap sits really tight, by the way. That's good, so you don't drop it. The sprayer distributes wide and nice. It's a really good sprayer. Let me spray some on my arm here. Oh, it's really a beautiful scent, guys. The packaging is black with a golden line on it that says Encre Noir A L'Extreme. Overall, I just think both the bottle and the box looks pretty expensive. Everything about this presentation really oozes class and sophistication and quality. And that is really surprising because this is a really inexpensive fragrance, really. This fragrance comes in the sizes 50 and 100 ml bottles. Let me just say that Encre Noir A L'Extreme is a flanker to the original Encre Noir, and this one was released in 2015. Now let's move on to the scent itself. What does this fragrance smell like? So the main notes in Encre Noir A L'Extreme is vetiver, incense, cypress, patchouli and sandalwood. Now maybe that doesn't sound too exciting, but let me tell you about and try to describe how this fragrance smells. I normally try to keep my review videos pretty short, like under 10 minutes, but I really feel that I have to take some time to really explain this fragrance here, because it really deserves a little extra explanation so that you really understand how this one smells. So to keep it simple, you could just say that this is a vetiver based fragrance with a little blackness to it. And I don't mean darkness in like a noir-like fragrance that is suited for evening wear. I mean blackness. So let me first start by telling you something about vetiver itself. If you have never smelled it, you are not sure how it smells. Vetiver is a seagrass, you could say, but it's really grass growing in swamps and marshes. The vetiver grass itself have a citrusy, grassy note to it, but since it grows in marshes and wetlands, it also absorbs some of the earthiness and the muddiness of the water that it grows in. So you get citrus grass with an earthiness to it. But this one is a little special because they have added something really extra to this vetiver base. Something that is really hard to describe, and something that is really reminiscent of something black. The best way I can try to describe it is one of those old school rubber hockey pucks, those hard rubber hockey pucks, you know. If you leave one of those out in the sunshine and you smell on it, it smells a little rubbery and a little black. There's also a slight note of black tar in this one, not too much, just a slight hint of it, and something that I best can describe as newly paved asphalt in the hot summer heat. That gives off a pretty distinctive smell to it as well. The predecessor, the original Encre Noir, was said to have an ink note to it. I can perhaps detect an ever so slight ink note in this one too, but nothing disturbing at all. So you notice all those things I describe here that is added on top of the vetiver is all really black things, and this is a really black, fresh fragrance. That is the best way I can describe it. It's beautiful and fresh, but with a really black touch to it. I have really no idea how they managed to create such a beautiful and unique fragrance blend like this one. But the perfumier Natalie Lawson must really be a mastermind of a perfume year, because this is original, this is beautiful. It's really something extra. It's not at all your ordinary designer fragrance. It probably won't appeal to all people like most designer fragrances do, but you can't deny the artistry of this beautiful fragrance. So I hope you got somewhat of a picture of how this fragrance smells like. It's really hard to describe because it's so unique and complex, really. Now let's move on to the ratings of Encre Noir A L'Extreme. So let's start off with my rating of this fragrance. This is really hard. On the smell itself, which is usually what I rate my fragrances by, just how it smells, how good it smells. This is usually how I rate the fragrances. I can't do that on this fragrance, because if I rate it from 1 to 10, I think that the smell itself, to me, is like an 8. But I really must give some sort of credit to the artisticness of this fragrance, because this is so beautifully blended. If I were to rate it of how unique it is and how well blended it is, it would be a perfect 10 for sure, no doubt about it. So I decided to take a middle road between the scent itself, which is an 8, and the uniqueness of this fragrance, which is a perfect 10. And the middle ground between those two is a 9. So my rating of Encre Noir A L'Extreme is a 9. And as always, I also asked my girlfriend what her thoughts about this fragrance was. She rated this one a 7.5. She thought it smelled nice, a little different, but certainly not one of the best fragrances I own. And this is pretty much to be expected from this fragrance. Not every person will love this fragrance, that is for sure, because it's so special and it's so different. I do enjoy it a lot. My girlfriend, not so much apparently. So her rating was a 7.5. Now let's move on to the strength rating of this fragrance. This is a solid performer. It performs really well. On me, I get somewhere between 8 to 10 hours out of it, and that is pretty good for being a somewhat fresh, citrusy grass kind of fragrance. And I give it a strength rating of 8. Now to the versatility of this fragrance. And this is hard. This is such a special fragrance that it's not suited for many occasions, really. It is quite sharp in the opening, and it projects really well also in the start. At least for 3 to 4 hours it projects really well. So I don't think it's appropriate to use this in school or in the office, because it can be just too strong for people around you. I would probably wear this fragrance mostly at spring, summer and fall, even if you can wear it in winter as well. Vetiver is usually a fragrance note that is associated with dressed up fragrances, but the blackness in this fragrance, I am not so sure that it's appropriate for really dressed up suit and tie occasions. It can work, but it can backfire on you as well. So if you want to stay safe, avoid those kind of scenarios and just wear it casually. So versatility is a little limited with this fragrance just because it is so special and so unique, and I give it a versatility rating of 5. Lastly, we have the price rating, and this is a really affordable fragrance that for sure smells way more expensive than the price tag it comes with. You have to pay about 30 euros or 35 US dollars for a 100 ml bottle of this one. That is just great value for a very artistic and unique fragrance, I must say. This is also eau de parfum concentration. What more can I say? This is a real bargain for such a beautiful fragrance, and I give it a price rating of 9. So, what's my final verdict of this one? Would I recommend you guys watching this to buy Encre Noir A L'Extreme? Yes, I certainly would, no doubt about it. You really need this fragrance in your collection if you are collecting fragrances. Not because it smells incredibly good, not because it's a crowd pleaser. Everyone will not appreciate this fragrance, I can tell you that from the start. But if you want a niche quality, really well blended and artistic fragrance for just a fraction of the price that niche fragrances usually go for, and this is your best bet. There simply isn't a better artistic designer fragrance on the market than this one. So if you get the chance, try this one out first. This is not a blind buy fragrance by any means. Try it out if you like it. It comes with a great price tag, it's really inexpensive. Even if people around you don't appreciate it, you can just wear it casually at home and just enjoy the fragrance yourself instead. So Encre Noir A L'Extreme from Lalique is definitely a good recommendation from me. Just go ahead and buy it if you have the chance. This was all from me, Tommy, here at Nordic Fragrance. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you don't want to miss any future videos or top lists, then please click the subscribe button. And until we meet again, go frag yourselves.